This isn't just land. This is Kenya's wild heartbeat, and it never stops. When we think of Kenya, certain images are immediately burned into our minds. That lone acacia tree standing defiant against a fiery sunset. A patient, golden lioness camouflaged in a sea of tall grass. This is the Kenya of our imagination, a grand cinematic epic where wildlife is the star. But beyond the checklists and the frantic clicking of cameras, there is a deeper story. A story of a land that breathes in the quiet moments between the chase. Today, on the Unscripted Show, we explore the real soul of the savannah, discovering a rhythm that beats in the chaos of a million animals and in the profound silence that follows. It starts with a tremor. Not in the ground, but in the air. A low, constant hum that signals the opening act of nature's most epic show, the Great Migration. On the plains of the Maasai Mara, a living, breathing river of life stretches to every horizon. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, pour into Kenya in a relentless 1,800-mile ancient pilgrimage. Driven by a primal instinct for survival, these animals can sense rain from over 100 kilometers away. It is a moving city with its own rules, led by the keen eyesight of zebras and the nimble grace of gazelles. But the pulse quickens at the Mara River. Here, nature is at its most raw and unforgiving. Nile crocodiles wait patiently for the frantic crossing, a test of courage, strength, and pure luck, where only the fittest survive to continue the journey. If the migration is the savannah's heartbeat, then meeting its great predators is when the land seems to hold its breath. The Big Five: the lion, leopard, elephant, rhino, and Cape buffalo, once symbols of conquest, are now witnesses to a concentration of power that commands reverence. In the cool, pre-dawn light, the masters of stealth emerge. A leopard lounged in an acacia tree, a picture of lazy grace and poised power. In Amboseli National Park, massive herds of elephants move like living monuments against the staggering backdrop of Mount Kilimanjaro. They move with ancient wisdom, their deep rumbles a form of communication felt more than heard. And then, there is the lion. At dusk, as the sun dips below the horizon, a single roar vibrates through the entire landscape, a deep guttural announcement of existence. It is the voice of the savannah itself, asserting its wild, untamable soul. Woven into the fabric of this landscape is another character, the Maasai people. Their brilliant red shuka is a beacon of human presence in a world dominated by wildlife. But the Maasai are more than just part of the scenery. They are the land's stewards and guardians. Their story is one of deep, centuries-old connection to this earth. For the Maasai, cattle are a sacred gift from their god, Enkai, and the center of their culture. This belief has made them unintentional conservationists, living alongside lions and elephants for generations. Today, through community conservancies, they lead a global example of community-driven conservation, protecting the habitat while funding schools and healthcare. To know the Maasai is to understand the heart of Kenya, a culture that finds balance between ancient traditions and a modern world. Kenya is a country of incredible diversity, where the landscape changes as dramatically as the animals. From the rolling grasslands of the Mara to the Great Rift Valley, the land tells a story of contrast. In the shadow of Mount Kilimanjaro, Amboseli offers a lush green oasis at the heart of an arid landscape fed by underground springs from the mountain's melting snows. To truly grasp this scale, one must see it from above. From a hot air balloon, the savanna unfolds like a mosaic, game trails looking like veins on the earth's skin. Giraffes lope gracefully through the trees, their long shadows stretching across a vast, interconnected system. Kenya is a land of rolling hills and towering mountains, of chaotic motion and deep stillness. You come to Kenya for the noise, the thunder of the migration and the roar of the lion, but you leave remembering the silence. At dusk, the frantic energy of survival gives way to a watchful peace. The air cools and the scent of night-blooming flowers replaces the dust of the day. Under a sky brilliant with a multitude of stars and the glowing ribbon of the Milky Way, the land takes a long, deep breath. Africa doesn't rush, it has its own time. Kenya teaches us to look beyond the spectacle and find meaning in the subtle moments, the silent gaze of a leopard or the soul-stirring quiet of the savanna. It is a rhythm that stays with you long after you've gone, a pulse that will continue to beat forever. Thank you for joining us on the Unscripted Show. Subscribe to keep exploring the unwritten beauty of our world.